Hi everybody, thanks for joining Create with Dee. Today we'll be making a version of this pumpkin and fence card. It uses lots of punches. It uses what is currently the small oval punch in the main catalog, the medium oval punch. We're going to use our word window to create our fence, modern label to make a stem for our pumpkins. We're going to use the leaf from the two-step bird punch, and I think, that's pretty much it for right now. Okay, so let's get started on this version of it. What I wanted to do is make a watermark image of the leaf from the paisley prints. So I've got that loaded on my e-block, and I've got Versamark. And Versamark will make a watercolor print or background image. And typically I would have a napkin or a piece of scrap paper behind this. So I just want to kind of give that fall imprint all around. Okay, so I don't know if the camera will pick this up, but it's as it dries, it will make a watermark. Okay, so that's going to be the first step on here. Again, we got our Versamark. The next thing is to create our fence. And to create our fence, what I did is I cut strips of Whisper White at just slightly under 3/8 of an inch wide. And the reason being is that the word window measures 3/8. So on this fence, I'm going to use 5 fence posts again. And to make just the top of it round, what I'm going to do is take a strip again of the Whisper White, and I'm going to just feed it in through the top and just get to the, get the front edge of it. And so that'll round out our fence post. Okay, so I've already done that some other times. And what I wanted to try to do is make this be a little bit, again, this is going to be a variation of what this card looks like. But I thought I would like to try my fence to look something like this. Okay, so that, and you can see that this one's not quite rounded as the other ones, but that's okay. I think you'll get the idea. Okay, so I want it to have like an arched look to it. And then I've got a piece of Whisper White, that's not rounded, and then that's going to make our, I guess, the cross sections of the fence. So I'll go ahead and start putting that down. Okay, and you guys know how I am. I have to have it facing me. I'm so sorry. But that's just the way we're going to have to do it. So I'm going to use Dado because it's removable or repositionable. And I think that's what I want to make sure that happens, because I might need to adjust it as we go. So I'm going to get it centered on my mat and get the center one, fairly tall. Then we'll come in with some other fence posts and start working our way down. And it's kind of nice to use a grid paper or something underneath, because then you can say, hey, I'll pick this and do it every so often. Or, this will be the hash mark that I shoot for. So that's kind of what I'm doing on this one. So every 1/4 of an inch, I'm putting the edge of my fence post off to the side. So hopefully the spacing is somewhat good. And this won't be an exact science. It could be, if you wanted to really be precise, you could definitely get it all measured out. I'm kind of an eyeballer person. And this one, I really don't like how that strip, it looks like when I cut it at a goofy angle. So let's just go ahead and let's use the other end. Okay, since I had to have it face me for just a second. And that's why, that way I could line it up and it would look more like how I wanted it to. Okay. And with the dado, this glue will, or the adhesive will just kind of rub off, so I'll come back and do that. Okay, so one more fence post to put in. So excited to show you guys this. Okay, so then I just take my good old handy dandy scissors, flip my card upside down, and I'm just going to trim it. And again, that way I can just kind of measure it as I go. But if you wanted to, you could, you know, cut it a very precise cut. Okay, so there's our fences taking shape. So I'm going to go ahead, and I think I'm going to make 2 levels of the little gate support here. And again, it's real rocket science, isn't it, guys? I'm just kind of eyeballing it. Because like with fences, you know, they can kind of go over a little bit, and that's what we're going to do on this one. Okay. Alrighty. And my my edges of my paper are a little bit rough. My blade on my paper trimmer is needing changed out. And I started to do that last night, and then I thought, you know, fence posts are kind of rugged and ragged anyway, so I purposely left it so that it actually cut a little rough, and you could take a distressing tool and do that if you wanted to. Okay, there's our fence. Okay. So, so now let's go ahead and we'll start putting in the pumpkins. Okay, I've already got one made so that you can see what the finished one looks like. This one's made with the medium size oval punch. And what I have done is I've already cut out 3 of the smaller oval punch, and I've taken some crumb cake ink, and we're using crumb cake cardstock. And what I did was I edged each one of the oval panels. And we'll layer these 3 oval panels in such a way that we'll actually be making our pumpkin. And this is one of those projects where you definitely would want to ink the edges. It really defines the grooves of your pumpkin. Okay, so those are done. And for the remaining of the project, I'm going to get a napkin and put under here because some of our gluing can get a little messy. Okay. All right, so I've got our 3 oval panels, and I'm going to go ahead and just turn it upside down. And I've got 2-way glue pen. And on the center panel, this will be this one here that will not be tucked behind. It's going to be the one that's actually shown in front. Okay, then on our other panels, we're just going to kind of tuck half in this way and half that way. And with the 2-way glue pen or 2-way glue stick, you know, you have a little time before it dries to kind of position it. Okay, I kind of like how that looks. Okay, so I'm going to turn it back upside down. And this is where I use the modern label punch. It just makes a kind of a nice, easy, stem. And then plus I can get 3 of them out of it. Okay, so I'm just going to cut back some. All of this is going to be tucked on the back, so you're not going to see it. But I'm just going to cut a strip off of one of the ends of it. And then to me, I think that makes a really, really nice stem. Okay, I'm going to just load up a lot of glue right here at the tip of our pumpkin. And put down the cutout piece of the modern label. I'm going to come back in with some more of the glue. Get my stem going this way. And with old olive, certainly celery, and let's see, this is the certainly celery, old olive, and this is always artichoke. I punched out some of the leaves from the two-step bird punch and got some variegated greens. So I'm going to use those to be our pumpkin vines as well as our leaf tops. So let's see. On this one I used the dark green, so I think I'll use old olive on this pumpkin. Trim some of that back. And again, this is our back side, so I flip it over and then just kind of play around with it till I get maybe the, where I want the leaves to stick out. Okay, so maybe on that one, that's what that looks like. Okay, I'll take a quick break and get ready for the next phase of this. Be right back. Okay, so we have all of our images ready to go, so now it's a matter of layering them. So for the big pumpkin, I'm going to go ahead and just take some adhesive and I'll put it right down here at the bottom of my fence. And then with the two-way glue pen, I'm going to come in for, this is the always artichoke color again. And I'm going to have a little vine going here. And with the dimensional now, whoops, and I want to go ahead and I'm going to put my old olive leaf down as well. So these leaves are going to, I'm going to, hopefully they look like pumpkin vines. Okay, and with our smaller pumpkin, I'm going to add even a little more dimensions with it, and I'm going to pop it up with a dimension. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so the last thing I want to put on is a sentiment, and I'm using the images found in the Just Believe stamp set. Oh my gosh, I just am really, really loving those. So I'm going to take my crumb cake ink, and again that's going to match our crumb cake cardstock, and I'm going to stamp that image. And then I have the Friends sentiment from that same stamp set, and for me, that's why I like the clear mounts, because I can really see right where that's going to go. And then I'm going to take, our decorative label punch and punch out our sentiment. And with the dauber, come in and I'll ink up the edges. Okay, so our card's really coming together now. Lots of punches and lots of little separate elements, but really once you get started on it, it goes together, I think, very quickly. Okay, again, I think I'll put a dimensional on this to pop it up. And there we go. So I probably will come back in here in a little bit, and I'll probably add a couple more leaves down here to fill up that one vine. But that's our card, everybody. Have fun making this fun fallish card, and I hope you enjoy making your pumpkins and your fences. Thanks, everybody. Happy crafting. Bye-bye.